She only meant to refill her water. Jennifer Glover, 27, nursing student, waitress, just another invisible girl in black and white, reached for the crystal pitcher, leaned in with practiced grace, and... The woman froze. Her hand stopped mid-air, her eyes fixed on something impossible. The necklace. A silver crescent moon wrapped around a compass rose, hanging just below Jennifer's collar. The billionaire didn't speak, not at first. Her champagne glass slipped from her hand. It hit the marble floor with a crash that turned heads across the ballroom. Silence fell. 100 conversations cut off mid-sentence. Linda Resnick, founder of billion-dollar foundations, survivor of unimaginable loss, stared at the necklace like it had just risen from a grave. Her voice cracked the stillness. Where did you get that? Jennifer blinked, confused, defensive. This? I've had it since I was a baby. But Linda wasn't listening. She took a step forward, then another. Her hand reached out, trembling, hovering inches from Jennifer's chest. Please, she whispered. May I see it? Jennifer hesitated, but something in the woman's face, grief, shock, hope, made her nod. Linda turned the pendant over with shaking fingers. She read the engraving. 03.12, 1997. She collapsed, because that necklace was buried with her daughter and her unborn grandchild, 28 years ago, 3 days earlier. Jennifer's world looked nothing like this ballroom. Tiny apartment in Jersey, second shift in her rear view, nursing exam ahead, a textbook open on her lap, a bowl of instant noodles going cold on the counter. Her life was built on grit and exhaustion. No backup, no family, no history, just that necklace. Pinned to her blanket when she was found outside Newark General Hospital in the spring of '97. She'd worn it ever since, through foster homes, cafeteria jobs, late-night study marathons. She didn't know where it came from. She only knew she never took it off. Now, someone else remembers it. Someone who was told that necklace was buried forever, that there was no baby, no miracle, no survivor. But Jennifer Glover is standing here, alive, breathing, wearing the past around her neck. But before we begin, hit subscribe, like this video, and tell us where you're watching from. Because sometimes the past isn't gone, it's just waiting to be found. The night smells like gardenias and old money. Waitstaff glide between glittering tables. Laughter sparkles under the chandeliers like champagne. The Astoria Club has never looked more polished or more untouchable. Jennifer keeps her tray steady, eyes down. She's worked 100 events like this, different dresses, same people, the kind who glance at your name tag and forget you a second later. But she doesn't mind. Being invisible? It's a skill, one she's mastered. A senator waves her over. She tops off his wine, offers a practiced smile, keeps moving. Her shoes pinch, her shoulders ache, but she pushes through. Tips from a gala like this could cover textbooks she's been praying to afford. Nursing school doesn't wait for tired feet. She passes a mirrored column, catches her reflection. Black slacks, crisp shirt, no makeup. Nothing fancy, except the necklace. A silver crescent moon, wrapped in a compass rose, tucked just beneath her collar. Always there. She's never taken it off. It was pinned to her baby blanket when they found her. Newark General Hospital, March of '97. No note, no name, just that necklace. The only thing in the world that's ever felt like hers. A tray of empty glasses lands in the kitchen. She grabs another, breathes, heads back in. At table 12, a woman in a navy velvet gown raises her hand. Jennifer approaches, ready to pour, and then everything tilts. The woman stares at her, or rather, at the necklace. Her hand trembles. Her lips part like a name is caught there. The glass slips from her fingers, shatters. Silence ripples through the room. Jennifer blinks, frozen in place. For a second, she thinks she's done something wrong, but the woman, older, elegant, clearly someone important, doesn't move. She stares like she's seen a ghost. Where did you get that? Her voice is barely a breath, but the tremor in it feels like an earthquake. Jennifer touches the necklace instinctively. It's mine. I've always had it. The woman steps forward. Her eyes fill with something too heavy to name. Please, may I? Jennifer hesitates, heart pounding, nods. The woman's fingers reach out, slow, reverent, and turn the pendant over. She gasps. Ut 3, 12, 1997. The engraving catches the light. The woman breaks. She crumples like something inside her gave out. People rush toward her. Voices rise. Someone calls her name, Linda. But she doesn't respond. She just keeps staring at the necklace. Jennifer stands there, holding the tray like a shield. The room is spinning. The silence is deafening. And in that moment, something shifts, sharp, silent, irreversible. She doesn't know it yet, but that necklace is about to unbury a secret no one was meant to find. The hallway is too quiet. Jennifer sits alone on a velvet bench, hands clasped tight in her lap, necklace tucked beneath her shirt like it's hiding from the world. 2 security guards stand nearby, polite, professional, but she knows a detainment when she sees one. Inside the adjacent room, voices murmur behind thick wooden doors. The woman, Linda, had collapsed, not from alcohol, not from illness, from seeing her. No one's explained anything, only that she should wait, that Ms. Resnick requested a private conversation. Jennifer's heart still hasn't settled. Her stomach twists. She should leave. She should call Shayna. She should be anywhere but here. The doors open. An assistant waves her in gently like she's something fragile. Jennifer steps into a private study. Dark-paneled walls, antique lamps, crystal decanters untouched on a sideboard. Linda Resnick sits in an armchair near the window, eyes red-rimmed, hands clasped over a silk handkerchief. She looks smaller now, older, not like the woman from the news or the foundation galas, more like someone who just lost something, or maybe found it. She doesn't smile. She doesn't introduce herself. She just asks, quietly, "Do you know who I am?" Jennifer nods. "Linda Resnick. You run the Amber Resnick Foundation." At the sound of the name, Linda flinches. "She was my daughter," she says. "Amber." Jennifer swallows. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to—" "You didn't do anything wrong," Linda cuts in gently. "You just wore a necklace." Jennifer touches it, instinctive again. "It's always been mine, since I was a baby." Linda studies her like she's looking through her, past her face, her clothes, her voice. Trying to find something underneath. "Was made in Florence, 1996, 2 pieces. One for my daughter, one for the baby she was carrying." The words hang in the air like dust caught in a beam of light. Jennifer goes still. Linda's voice softens, but it's weighted with memory. "Amber died in a car crash, March 12, 1997. She was 8 months pregnant. They told me the baby didn't survive." Jennifer's breath catches. "I was found outside Newark General, March 15th. No name, just this." She holds the necklace up. Linda leans forward like it hurts to breathe. "Then it's possible. My God, it's actually possible." Jennifer's voice is barely there. "You think I'm her baby?" "I think we need answers," Linda whispers. Silence stretches. Then, "Would you be willing to take a DNA test?" Jennifer wants to laugh, or scream, or run, but something in her, the part that's always felt like a question mark, doesn't move. She nods. "Yes," she says quietly, "but if this is real, then someone lied, and someone left me." Linda closes her eyes. "Then it's time we find out who." The car ride is silent. Jennifer stares out the tinted window, the city blurring past in streaks of amber and steel. A driver in a black suit sits up front. She sits in the back alone. They didn't ask her to change clothes, didn't care that she was still in her waitress uniform, still smelling like wine and sweat and stress. Linda had simply said, "Come with me." So she did. The Resnick building looms like a monument in Midtown, glass and power and impossible quiet. Security waves her through without question. She's escorted to the top floor into a private conference room that doesn't feel like any office she's ever seen. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a fresh orchid on the table, bottled water she can't pronounce, And at the head of the table, Linda Resnick. No entourage, no cameras, just her. "Sit wherever you like," she says gently. "This isn't official." Jennifer slides into a chair, still gripping the strap of her bag like a lifeline. On the table in front of her, Linda places two things, a manila folder and a photo. Jennifer leans forward. It's a picture of a young woman, warm eyes, wild curls, a smile that pulls. Around her neck, the same necklace. "My daughter, Amber," Linda says. "This was taken in Florence a few months before she passed." Jennifer stares. The resemblance is subtle, a softness around the eyes, the shape of the mouth, familiar and not. "She was 27, Linda adds. "Same age as you." Jennifer swallows. Her voice is low. "They told you the baby didn't make it?" "They told me a lot of things," Linda replies. "That Amber died on impact, that the baby was in distress, that she was stillborn." Her hands shake as she opens the folder. Inside, birth records, hospital documents, old correspondence. Jennifer recognizes the layout, the same bland, state-issued forms she's stared at her whole life. But here, pages are missing, entire sections redacted or blank. She pulls out her own version from her bag, places it beside the one on the table, side by side. They don't match. "Your file says you were found at Newark General," Linda says quietly. 3 days after Amber's accident. No parent names, no hospital records, just dropped off." Jennifer nods. "I was wrapped in a baby blanket. The necklace was pinned to it." Silence again. Thick, heavy. Then Linda speaks, barely above a whisper. "I need to know if you're mine." Jennifer's throat tightens. "Okay," she says. Linda reaches into her purse and pulls out a small testing kit. "I had this rushed. We'll send it to a private lab. No leaks, no press." Jennifer takes the swab, her hands trembling. Part of her wants to scream, to demand answers, to understand why no one came for her. But another part just wants to know the truth. They seal the kit. Linda stands. "I can't promise you anything," she says, "except this. If you are my granddaughter, I will never lose you again." Jennifer doesn't speak, but something in her chest begins to ache, not in pain, in possibility. Rain taps against the window. Jennifer sits in the corner of the room, knees tucked up, hoodie wrapped tight, DNA kit sealed on the table beside her. The apartment is quiet. Too quiet. Her best friend, Shayna, watches her from the kitchen, spoon idle in her cereal bowl. "So," she finally says, "you really think this woman's your grandma?" Jennifer doesn't answer right away. She just stares at the swab kit, like it might answer for her. "I don't know what to think," she says. "I mean, I was found outside a hospital 3 days after her daughter died, and the necklace—" "The same one in the photo?" Shayna asks, her voice softening. Jennifer nods. Shayna gets up, crosses the room, sits beside her on the couch. "You've worn that thing every day since I've known you. You even wore it under your scrubs during clinicals." Jennifer manages a smile. "They made me take off my Apple Watch, but not this." Shayna leans in. "You always said it felt like proof, like you came from somewhere." Jennifer's eyes fall to her hands. "What if I really did?" They sit in silence, listening to the rain. Later that night, she mails the kit. The lab results are promised in 24 hours. But the wait is a lifetime. Linda doesn't call, doesn't text, but Jennifer knows she's waiting too. At 3:02 p.m. the next day, her phone lights up. Unknown number. She lets it ring once before answering. Linda's voice is calm, but there's something tight under it. Controlled. "Can you come by?" Jennifer's throat dries. "Did you get the—" "Yes." That's all she says. They meet in a private clinic on the Upper East Side. Jennifer's palms are sweating. The room is too white, too clean, the kind of place where truth doesn't hide. Linda is already seated. Beside her, a man in a grey suit, her legal advisor maybe. He doesn't speak. A woman in a lab coat enters. No ceremony, just a file folder. She opens it, flips to the second page and clears her throat. Genetic comparison between Linda Resnick and Jennifer Glover shows a probability of maternity lineage at... She pauses, looks up. 98%. Jennifer doesn't hear the rest. Her ears ring. Her vision blurs. She's not adopted. She's not abandoned. She was stolen. Linda lets out a breath like she's been holding it for 28 years. "You're Amber's daughter," she says softly. "You're mine." Jennifer's voice breaks. "I always wondered if someone wanted me, if someone missed me." Linda reaches out, takes her hand, holds it tight. "I missed you," she whispers, "even when I didn't know I was missing you." Jennifer swallows the lump in her throat, but one thought cuts through the storm. "If I'm yours," she says slowly, "then someone made sure we never found each other." Linda's expression hardens, not with fear, with purpose. "Then we find out who." Linda doesn't waste time. By morning, her legal advisor, Patrick Reed, 49, stone-faced, surgically efficient, is already pulling hospital records. Newark General, March 1997, Amber Resnick, deceased, stillbirth, no surviving infant, except Jennifer exists. And the paperwork says nothing about her, nothing real. Patrick leans over the table, eyes narrowed. There's a record of Amber's death, the emergency C-section, the signed stillbirth certificate, but no documentation about what happened between 1:51 and 4 a.m. That's 3 hours. Patrick nods. 3 hours? Gone. Linda closes her eyes, a whisper of pain brushing her features. "I never saw the baby. They told me it was too traumatic, that the body had already been handled, that I needed rest." She exhales slowly, shaking her head. "I believed them." Jennifer watches her. This woman, so composed, so powerful, unraveling by inches. Patrick flips to the next file. The attending physician was Dr. Brian Lehman, OB-GYN. 23 years at Newark General, retired 6 years ago. No disciplinary history. He slides a photo across the table. Jennifer stares down at a kind face. Wrinkles, graying hair, the smile of a man who looks like someone's grandfather. He doesn't look like someone who could disappear a baby. Linda's voice is cool, sharp. "Find him." The next morning, they do. Dr. Lehman lives in a quiet neighborhood in West Orange. A hospice nurse opens the door, soft-spoken, tired eyes, says he's not well, says he sleeps most of the day now. Patrick leans in. "Please, we need 5 minutes." The nurse hesitates, then steps aside. Jennifer's stomach turns as they enter. The smell of antiseptic, low beeping from a monitor, soft breathing from the man in the bed. Dr. Lehman looks thinner than his photo, eyes sunken, skin pale. But when Linda says her name, he opens his eyes, and something behind them breaks. "I was hoping I'd never see you again," he whispers. Linda steps forward, voice steady. "I buried an empty coffin, Brian. Tell me what happened." He stares at the ceiling. For a long time, he says nothing. Then, "I was told the baby didn't make it. That was the official line. But she was alive, healthy, crying." Jennifer freezes. Dr. Lehman's voice shakes. "I was approached. Someone I trusted. She said the family wanted the baby placed privately, discreetly. I didn't ask questions. I signed what she gave me." Linda's voice drops. "Who?" His breath stutters. "Denise Vaughan." Linda flinches. "She said it was better this way, that you didn't need more grief. She said the baby would be safe, but something changed. A few days later, I asked for confirmation. She shut me out, told me to forget it ever happened." Jennifer steps closer. "So, she never gave me to a family?" "I don't know," he whispers. "All I know is, I never should have listened." He closes his eyes and begins to cry. She stares at the name on the screen. Denise Vaughan. For years, she's been just a footnote, Linda Resnick's loyal personal assistant, Amber's best friend, a fixture at every gala and family event. But now, she's something else entirely. Jennifer watches the grainy footage on Patrick's laptop. Old Foundation interviews, photographs from the 90s, press clips of Denise standing just behind Amber. Always a half step out of the spotlight. Always close. Too close. She disappeared 2 years after Amber died, Patrick says, scrolling. Left the foundation, sold her condo in Tribeca, moved to Connecticut. Never married, no kids. Took a low-profile consulting job with a private donor network. Jennifer narrows her eyes. She took me, didn't she? Patrick doesn't answer. Linda stands by the window, arms crossed, back rigid. She was in the hospital that night, she says. I asked her to be there when the baby arrived. I trusted her. Amber trusted her. Jennifer's voice is quiet. You think she did it alone? No, Patrick replies. She needed help to pull this off. Lehman signed the stillbirth certificate, but the transfer would have required paperwork, signatures, and a nurse on shift to move the baby. He clicks to a new document, hospital logs from March 12, 1997. Emily Kincaid, RN, clocked in from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., assigned to maternity that night. Quit 4 days later, no forwarding info. Jennifer exhales. So we find her. It takes 2 days, a nursing license, a marriage certificate, a paper trail tucked beneath 2 last name changes. They find Emily working part-time at a clinic in Trenton. She agrees to meet, reluctantly, in a diner on Route 1. Her hands tremble as she stirs her coffee. I shouldn't be talking to you, she says. There's still people out there who, we just want the truth, Linda says. Emily glances at Jennifer, then lowers her voice. I remember that night. Amber came in after the crash. It was chaos. She was fading fast. The baby, it was alive. Breathing. Jennifer's heart stutters. Emily nods. Healthy. I remember thinking how lucky it was, considering the trauma. I handed the baby to another nurse. That's when Denise arrived, clipboard in hand, said there were private arrangements, that the baby wasn't being released to the family. She hesitates. I believed her. She said the family wanted confidentiality. Jennifer's voice cracks. And what happened next? I didn't ask. That's the truth. I was young, scared, and she had authority. She told me to walk away. So I did. Silence settles over the table. Emily reaches into her bag and slides something across the table. A photo, faded, slightly creased. Jennifer, just days old, wrapped in a hospital blanket, pinned to it. The necklace. I took it before she left with you, Emily says quietly. I was going to report it, I swear, but then I didn't. I kept the photo, though. I don't know why. Linda's voice is steel, because some part of you knew this wasn't over. Jennifer doesn't sleep that night. She lies on her back, staring at the ceiling of her apartment, the one she's fought to keep, paycheck to paycheck. Every creak, every water-stained tile, every flicker of the hallway light feels different now, like her life is split in two, before the truth, and everything after. In the quiet, she replays the photo, the nurse, the trembling confession, and Denise's name on every page. She thinks about the baby left outside Newark General, alone, with nothing but a necklace and silence. She turns to face the wall, but the ache follows her. By morning, she's made her decision. She meets Linda and Patrick at a private law office downtown. The room smells like leather and nerves. The attorney, sharp suit, even sharper eyes, lays out the options. We can pursue criminal charges for conspiracy, medical fraud, child endangerment, he says, clicking his pen. But the hospital's statute of limitations complicates things. Denise Vaughn is the key. If we get a confession, we will, Jennifer cuts in. She's going to hear me. They find Denise living in a stone house in Westport. It's beautiful, polished, expensive. She opens the door in pearls, freezes when she sees who's standing on her porch. Her face barely flickers, but her hand tightens on the doorframe. Linda, she says coolly, I didn't expect. You stole my granddaughter. Linda says. The air shifts. Jennifer steps forward, her voice low, controlled. You knew my name, you knew who I was, and you left me anyway. Denise blinks, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. There's clearly been a misunderstanding. Jennifer pulls out the photo, places it in Denise's hand. Silence. Then, where did you get this? Emily's name, the hospital logs, Dr. Lehman's taped confession. Linda lays it all out like a blade. Denise's breath
I was going to place her with
cracks.
a private agency, she says suddenly, voice unraveling. It was supposed to be clean, quiet, anonymous, but I panicked. I left her at the hospital. I didn't know they'd... You didn't know what? Jennifer snaps. That I'd survive? Denise's face hardens. You have no idea what that family was like, the power, the inheritance. I was going to be erased. I did what I had to do. For money, Linda says, cold. You sold a child for access. Denise doesn't respond. But it's too late. Patrick has it all on tape. The court case moves fast. Jennifer watches from the witness stand as the footage plays. Dr. Lehman's confession, Emily's testimony, Denise's own words. Every seat in the gallery is filled. Every camera outside captures her name. Stolen heiress found after 28 years. But that's not the headline Jennifer cares about. When she speaks, her voice is clear, steady. I didn't need billions. I needed someone to come find me. Her words land like truth. Denise is sentenced to 15 years, conspiracy, medical fraud, child endangerment. But Jennifer doesn't look at her again. She's already walking out of the courtroom, toward the life that was taken, and the one she's about to rebuild. The Resnick estate doesn't feel like a mansion. It feels like walking into someone else's story. Jennifer stands in the foyer, marble floors, vaulted ceilings, art she's only seen in textbooks, and doesn't move. Linda watches her carefully. You don't have to stay. The guest house is yours, but you can go back to your place in Jersey if that feels better. Jennifer looks around. There are no framed photos, no signs of children, no laughter echoing down the hall, only space and silence. I'll try the guest house, she says. For now. Linda nods. It's yours. No strings. Just a place that's safe. Over the next few weeks, they find a rhythm. Linda brings her tea in the mornings. Jennifer brings silence and sometimes questions. They walk the gardens after dinner. Jennifer learns where the orchids came from, how long Amber used to spend sketching by the fountain. She finds Amber's old books in the library, dog-eared, underlined, full of soft, furious scribbles. Every day it hurts less, and means more. She visits Amber's grave. She doesn't speak at first, just stands there, hands deep in her coat pockets, wind tugging at her collar. Linda lays a hand on her shoulder. I wanted to be the one who protected you, she says quietly, but I couldn't. I didn't even know you were out there, Jennifer finally answers. You found me anyway. She finishes nursing school that spring, graduates top of her class, walks across the stage to polite applause and full-body disbelief. Her whole life she's had to fight to be seen. Now people clap when they say her name. Linda sits in the front row, beaming, crying. The same day Jennifer receives a sealed envelope. Inside, a trust in her name. Enough for grad school or a house or anything. She stares at the number. It doesn't feel real. Later, she hands the papers back to Linda. I'll take what I need for school, she says, but the rest, I want to build something. Linda raises an eyebrow. Something? A fund, Jennifer says, for kids who age out of foster care, the ones no one ever comes back for. Linda blinks, smiles. Your mother would have been proud of that. That summer, they visit the beach house Amber used to love. It's the first time Jennifer laughs freely in months, wind in her curls, salt on her skin, barefoot in the sand. Linda watches her like she's seeing something sacred. She presses a small box into Jennifer's hand. Inside, a silver bracelet. A compass rose to match the necklace, engraved underneath, Found, Loved, Home.
Jennifer doesn't say anything. She just hugs her grandmother for a long, quiet time. It's still dark when she arrives. The parking lot is quiet. A few nurses clocking in, a janitor humming off-key, steam rising from the sidewalk like breath. Jennifer steps out of her car, adjusts the strap of her bag, and looks up at the building. Newark General Hospital. The place that nearly erased her. Now. The place she chooses. Inside, the halls smell like bleach and early morning coffee. Clipboards shuffle, vitals beep. Life moves in quiet urgency. She pins on her badge, Jennifer Glover, RN. No middle name, no family name, just hers. Around her neck, the necklace still hangs, the same silver crescent moon wrapped in a compass rose, tucked gently beneath her scrubs, and on her wrist, the bracelet. Found, loved, home. Her first patient is a newborn, just 4 pounds, born premature, fighting for breath with every tiny rise of the chest. Jennifer swaddles him carefully, checks the monitor, adjusts the IV. The baby stirs, eyes still closed, fist curling around nothing. She whispers, "You're safe now." Linda visits during lunch. She never comes empty-handed. Today it's an overpacked Tupperware container and a thermos of lemon tea. "You've got to stop spoiling me," Jennifer teases, sliding into the chair beside her. Linda smiles. "Not a chance." They sit in the break room, sunlight creeping in through the blinds. No press, no foundation board, just a grandmother who shows up. "I never thought I'd find you," she says softly. Jennifer takes her hand. "You didn't stop looking, even when you didn't know you were." They sit in quiet for a while. No need to fill it. That night, Jennifer walks out of the hospital into the cool autumn air. The wind brushes her face. The city hums low in her ears. And for the first time in her life, she doesn't feel like she's drifting. She knows where she came from. She knows who she is. And she knows where she's going, not just a waitress, not just a survivor, not just someone who was left behind. She is a nurse, a granddaughter, a woman who rewrote the ending. Because sometimes, a necklace isn't just jewelry, it's proof. That love doesn't vanish, it waits, and when the time is right, it finds its way home.